Hi, my name's Emma O'Brien, and this is my story in banding together. Clearly, I'm working in a hospital. I've got my mask on, and I'm sorry about that, but it's part of the rules with the pandemic. I'm a practicing music therapist, and I founded this department 20 years ago. So, the Royal Melbourne Hospital had never had music therapy before. The Royal Children's had, because everyone's like, oh, yeah, kids, music. And I thought, well, adults, we need help too, and we need music, and there's plenty of stuff happening overseas. Why don't I just write a proposal and add at the end of that line, because I'm a student, I had to do those hours anyway to qualify. I am a songwriter. I do a lot of songwriting here with my patients. In fact, that's why I'm Dr. Emma, because my PhD is actually in working with people to bring out their song. I started my life, I was really lucky. I had lots of opportunities to participate in music as a little girl, and I actually grew up all around the world. My dad was a trade commissioner, and when I was a little girl, we left Australia when I was 6, and we went to I'm going to start showing my age here, but basically it was the warming of the Cold War, and we were one of the first Australian families that were going over there with a private business at that time. And at that time, we couldn't take any tapes with us. I think we smuggled in a Peter, Paul and Mary tape, because I'm talking like, you had to queue up to buy jeans. And it was a very different time. But my dad always sang, and he sang with me. And I think that's where my love for live music came from. My first instrument, of course, was recorder. And as he did back then, do you remember that at school? Everyone like, I think I should bring that back. That was fab. Uh, Obviously, recorder, singing. That was my first thing. Picked up a guitar at a very young age, played a lot of really angsty songs then. I still got my first ever guitar that my dad got me when I was 13. So I lived in Russia, England, Thailand, and Singapore. So I had my ear, I got to listen to extraordinary different tonalities, different types of music. When I was at uni studying at University of Melbourne, originally doing my formal training, I knew about music therapy, and I thought, oh, is that just one of those things you do because you're not that into music or you're not that good at music? And I couldn't have been more wrong, but sometimes we're a little bit up ourselves when we're younger. And I retrained. I retrained as a music therapist. When I started here, one of the main methods I started using, which then became my PhD later, was original songwriting. And we were taking a lot of the tracks off site. Over the 21 years I've been here, I've written, oh, look, I can't even count. I know officially I've probably written about 1,000 songs. So we're a hospital that has a recording studio, which I fought very hard for. We've got keyboards. We can put down some nice guides. People can come and sing with their families. Obviously, they're not doing that at the moment, but we will go back to that. We've been involved with musicians. So Pete Murray recorded 2 songs for us as well. Red and Kate's song, which were made into music videos, which are beautiful. And he did that for the girls because he came in and visited. And then the other thing that we've done is we basically, and in fact she's with me today. Here we have one of our Mollies. She comes with a beautiful speaker and an iPad as well. And what happens is we try to make it really easy for the staff too. So here she is all, set up. Everyone knows what an iPad looks like. Probably don't have to show you that. But and they basically wheel her around like this, and we're on the other end, and the nurses will take it in. This is in the COVID wards in particular, and they go, "Hello, we've got music therapy here. Would you like to hear a song?" And a lot of our patients in our COVID wards were elderly. Molly's been amazing. So they would wheel us down the hallway, and we'd be like playing walking down the hallway music, and then go into the rooms, and you'd sort of get this like someone to be sort of half resting, and they'd say, "Would you like a song?" What? Oh, oh, oh. And so this pet, and we go, "Hi," and they sort of go for a moment like, "What?" It's almost like being a robot, yeah. "Oh, hello," and then, "What? Would you like a song?" "Yes, please." And then we'd sing their fun songs, and some of them were really unwell, and we just do what we would normally do, is sing gently at the bedside. And working with the nursing and medical staff like that is incredible. I think in my role as a music therapist, you're coming into hospital for treatment for your illness, and you get this knock on the door, and in walks me, and I'm holding a guitar, and I'm trying to connect with you because I, deep in my heart, believe in the value and the power of music to help you along your journey. But I've got to find a way to do that. So singing a mass at first, it's a bit like trying to run up a hill when you haven't done much exercise or something. You do feel a lot short of breath. And then you have a face shield as well. Now, what happens here is you kind of get this fold back. It's like having, so I can hear myself louder with this on. When you put the mask on, you just don't hear as well because we listen with more than just our ears. You learn to sort of read each other's eyes a bit more with the sound. And I know that people probably experience this even when they talk to each other. Being classically trained has really helped as well because you've got to project more. So if you're singing pop even, which we're doing in the hallways, I don't sing opera in the hallways, I have to sort of engage everything and really sing quite accurately to get through my mask and the screen. And sometimes through a window because we're playing to COVID patients outside their rooms through a window. I hope that we don't always have to sing with masks, and I hope that that will, we'll be able to put other things in place like ventilation. You got to make sure that you're singing where there's good airflow, all those sort of things. So there's going to be a way through this, I know it. RMH Scrub Choir is an extraordinary thing that's come out of this pandemic as a way of keeping us as staff members even more connected than ever. I've been here for, over 20 years, and through doing the Scrub Choir, I have met more and more staff members and felt so connected to my colleagues. And it has been a connection through the power of music.
Music in itself can be challenging, and that's part of its power as well, and what you do with that music, with that person in that time of their life, where they're at, can be really, really significant. It can be a little bit confronting, but there's something about music that sort of, it kind of has all that space in it, doesn't it? Like if you listen to a song, you can listen to the same song so many times, and each time you listen to it, you can hear different things that the music might be saying. So sometimes you can listen to the words and go, oh yeah, that's cool, I'm into that. Or suddenly you think, oh, actually, wow, that bass line is really, emoting with me. And I think that's the thing with music, it can connect with us.
Somebody saw the couch choir that was the pub choir video. Do you remember the Close to You? And they sent it on to me, and I cried when I saw that. I thought that was just so beautiful, and they went, "Isn't that gorgeous? You think we could do something like that?" And I thought, yeah, why not? Let's give it a crack. Anyway, so through that, I put out a call, and I thought, okay, well, I'll pick a song, and I started to think about how do you do these things, and I thought, well, one of the things, you've got to give them a really good guide. I work a lot with Craig Pilkington in Audrey Studios. He's a good friend of mine from way back, Music Industry Connections. We went to uni together, and he is fantastic. He's also a really good soul. Like, I really value people that do things with integrity, and he ticks all those boxes. So we made a really nice, clear guide to Count on Me, Bruno Mars. We thought, oh, that'll work. It's kind of boppy. It's a good message. The staff will enjoy it. It'll be fun. So I put it out, and we've had a staff choir, which would kind of gather for Christmas. My adult kids, have been my adult children have been volunteering here at the Royal Melbourne since they were both 2.
When my daughter was much younger, a long time ago, and she sat down at the piano and she got out a piece of paper and she started composing. I think she was 7 or something. I thought, oh my God, she's a genius. And I thought, no, that's what she's seen me do all my life, And it's really interesting, people often say to me, how do you get your kids involved in music? And I said, well, just be involved in music yourself. My kids, well, I say kids, but my daughter's just turned 25 and my son's 20. So there's always been my kids. They've still found ways to contribute. So they've been part of my music therapy projects. They're both long-standing volunteers at the Royal Melbourne Hospital. They sing Christmas carols. It's been part of our family tradition to always have that music. And, seriously, without them and their music, I don't know if I would have been able to do what I do anyway, but particularly this year. This has been a hard year. I would come home and plus all the extra stuff with our PPE and our masks and scrubs on, scrubs off, wash your hands, all those extra layers. And I'd come home and they'd already started dinner and I have to do my kind of, scrubs off and full, we all have to come home and wash and everything, get your shower in and music's in our house. It's fun music. They're singing with me. We're mucking around. We're just having an incredible quality of life together that sustained me, And also they understand that what I do at work. It's always been a bit of a family affair, and they've contributed in ways like to RMH Scrub Choir. They sing and that because they're volunteers.
So many people want to be involved. And in the end, we ended up with like 200 people in the first video. I couldn't believe it. And it was this real, like, oh my goodness. And people that came out of the woodwork, because also our scrub choir isn't just about singing, they can play an instrument on it. So, people submitting guitar tracks and the piano tracks. And, we had violin and saxophone. All these things were just popping out of nowhere. And I was like, wow, this is extraordinary. This is this real coming together. And people loved it. I wasn't expecting to put it out. I thought it was just going to be internal, but it went really well. And it was like, wow, that's beautiful. And straight away, what's the next one? So, oh, what do you want to sing? And, put out a bit of someone suggest stuff. And we ended up with a list of 5 songs. And the hospital staff voted for I'll Stand By You by the Pretenders. People were listening to it. And of course, we're all masked up at this point and standing in from home, and our numbers doubled. And then people saying things like, oh, could you just come and film us? We just want to sort of have a bit of a move to it because we really love the song. And it was like, okay, fine, we'll come and do that. And so we went and we filmed them, and yeah, it was quite extraordinary. And then again, we put that one out, and I actually thought, the first one went really well. It was really fun, and I was really proud of that. But this one just went crazy. But I think Melbourne kind of got what we were trying to say. We wanted to say, we did want to say, I'll stand by you, and we stand by each other. And, a big virtual hug to Melbourne. And Melbourne hugged us back. I get beautiful letters even from staff members. One of the staff members sent me a beautiful note about how she had COVID, which was terrible. But one of the things that was getting her through was singing and dancing at home because, she wasn't that ill with it, but she had to be in isolation to count on me.
And look, it hasn't always been easy. Like, as I'm starting to get teary now, there's been weekends when I've just been like so exhausted. What the pandemic has asked of us all is to go that extra step, to show that you care just a little bit more, to find a way around to connect and to really value community and kindness. The pandemic has shown us that we need the arts more than anything. We need to value the arts. We need to value music. And you ask anyone at the hospital. In fact, sometimes when I post, we've got our own little workplace thing. I'll put a little song up. And some of the top executives will write, where would we have been this year without our music therapy?
I'm a big fan of making things accessible. For me, music is about accessibility. You send them the guide track, they get a karaoke track, they can take it home. And, they want to sing at home in the privacy of their home, they can take their mask off. So if I wasn't here in the studio, I could sing unmasked. Yeah, and then they basically submit in their vocal line and the video, and all the magic happens backstage. We're a very multicultural community. We're from all walks of life, and I think it connected because we were just being honest. The words are really interesting, but it's also that message, like, we get it. I can't see my mum because I'll put her at risk, even though as a carer I could legally go and see her, but I'm not going to go and see my mum. She's nearly 79. I'm not going to, because I could put her at risk. I want people to know that we're doing our best, but we're tired, we're stressed as well. We can't just do it to them, we have to do it with them. We have to work together. And communities in pandemics, not politicians. You ask anyone, they'll say, oh, when I was in lockdown, the one thing I did, or I just watched so many videos and I did all this stuff. And that's all art. That's that whole thing. That's artists helping you through. I think hopefully what will happen through this is that frontline workers will attract even more fabulous people. We're at risk of, because we've had sort of unable to supervise students, but we're trying to push all that through because we need more graduates, we need more people. So there are 3 songs that have come out of this pandemic at the Royal Melbourne. Probably going to write a 4th one as well. And the first song is called Surreal, and it's all original lyrics written by the staff and me gathering those ones. So we had like 260 comments. Originally it was going to be 1 song, but then I thought, well, no, man, there's probably an opera in this, but we'll just limit it. And wrote 3 songs. The first one's called Surreal. And it's about, it actually says, it's happening somewhere else. It's so far away. It's not going to get here. And then the second song's called Prepared, and it's about how we getting ready and how actually frightened people were. I was really surprised at the candor, not the surprise people were scared, because I was scared. And the whole thing about that song that comes across is we're frightened, but we're doing it anyway, because this is what we do. I wouldn't know what else to do. And then the other one, the final one, which is still relevant, even though these were written before we were in the thick of it, is called Gratitude. And it's beautiful. It's about what we're grateful for. And I thought, when I listened to that song, I thought, I wonder if it's still relevant now. And it's absolutely relevant. It's all the things that have happened. We're grateful that we have the privilege of being able to isolate, because it is a privilege. We're grateful that so far the politicians here have listened to the science, all those things. Grateful to the community. We talk a lot about this other pandemic that's going to come, the mental health pandemic, and so we'll keep on. I think it has the potential to really give positive messages to the community. I'd like to see us collaborating with more musicians as well. I think that's a beautiful, and the reality is now we know how to do virtual. That's our thing, really. But I also think, wouldn't it be beautiful if one day we weren't virtual anymore? And I think that'd be quite symbolic. If we all got in there and we were in a place in Melbourne that we could take our masks off and sing together as a group. And I think that would be quite a symbolic thing for us as healthcare workers.
As a hospital with Scrub Choir, yes, that's about us working together and singing and the power of music for us as a community. But we also wanted to say, hey, Melbourne, thank you so much.
I'm grateful that I've been able to work and help in this crisis, and that so far my friends and family are safe.
I'm grateful for the time to realise what's important to me. I now appreciate tiny moments of happiness. I appreciate everything so much more.
I'm grateful for this beautiful, wide open country that we live in, surrounded by